the chat there. So if any of you want to challenge yourself against one of the top players in Europe as well, from Austria, JJ Tam is in the chat asking for matches. So Jordan, if you want a match against Austria, have a go. We've got TinySpy here against MrX going another OnimarU match. OnimarU really popular. I mean, ever since he got released. I feel like particularly in the last few days for me. Don't know why. I guess I've been playing my man Quince a little bit. And that's put me down into the lower rankings. I don't know what the problem. I assume PTRSD is a guy. I think he's a guy. A guy in the masculine sense of the word, not the generic guy sense, because that's a confusing word in itself. Wow. This is impressive stuff from MrX, by the way. Completely disregarding, well, not disregarding it, but we had the guard crush icon over his head with Setsuki. And instead of playing scared, actually used that as an opportunity to go ham and go in. This time, TinySpy does get the parry, though, and then follows it up with a big chop.
Round 3.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing, but TinySpy is ready with the big swinging sword of Oni. But here's MrX. The Setsuki train begins. The Setsuki train has rolled out of the station and is starting it off. No, the Setsuki train is interrupted, and that's the first step to beating Setsuki is just stopping that wall of nonsense, and then TinySpy provides the wall of nonsense of his own there. With a chopping, once he's chopped, he ain't going to stop either. Good super interruption there, yeah. This is very impressive play from TinySpy because MrX absolutely no slouch with any character, as we've seen many times on the stream before. And yeah, but TinySpy has got the defense right now. And MrX break this man's samurai armor. Gets in with the throw, gets in with the bees, gets in with the... And somehow Divide and Conquer caught out of that. Interesting. Gets the armor crush, but okay, goes either side of the parry. That's some sneaky tricks MrX is showing us here. Now perhaps he's pulling out his final form, showing us his true power of the student Setsuki. It's a cool costume, that. Not seen anyone using that one before, actually, in the red t-shirt. Oh, the Spirit Fire gets the guard crush though, but didn't get counter hit, so it wasn't the finish. Oh, a tricky guard crush setups there. Too simple beat. But the super will catch MrX. Are we going to get a rematch? Was it laggy? We don't know. We just get the spectator. Oof, says MrX in the stream chat. Don't worry about it. OnimarU, honestly, I have a lot of problems. I do know how to play Grave versus Oni. That's one of the matches I'm reasonably confident about. If I play one of my lesser experienced characters against OnimarU, I will not have a good time. Even my second and third best characters I struggle against OnimarU. So, top tip, if you want to beat me right now. Forget about me though, MrX gets the first round in. Impressive stuff. Avoiding these slashes, but not that time. Divide and Conquer. Such a sort of pseudo reversal move. Find Oni has a hard time. Yeah, that's absolutely true for us. Like, I mean, basically, he's a ranged character. He needs to fight at that medium range, and if you get close to him, he's not very good. Maybe that's what MrX isn't managing to keep that Setsuki train going enough. Plus frames, yeah. Starlight kick should work, but again, you need those 2 air hits as well. MrX adjusting his play on the fly here. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, as Setsuki does like to do. A lot of floating in the air with the 2 hits, there we go. But now, TinySpy, great defense there. Read the tumbler was coming, and was able to punish it correctly. Oh, and a great oh, but what a maneuver by MrX.
Round 5.
What's really hurting him are the throws on his reversals. Well, yeah, but it's very frustrating because his armored reversals are very... You can actually throw them out from the outset, can you? Because I didn't know you could do that. I wasn't sure how it works. Again, I know very little about how to... And TinySpy with a great read again. Figuring out MrX loves to go for that Starlight Tumbler in certain situations. MrX jumping out of it. Gets a Divide and Conquer. What? Juggles. Oh, but a big punish. Again, one too many Starlight Tumblers. TinySpy's got a hard read on that, and it's working out for them.
Fight.
Throw out of his armor moves. Okay, so similar to like a parry or something like that then. I think that's totally fine. I mean, I find OnimarU incredibly frustrating to fight, and I hope he is the worst character in the game right now. Nah. Oh, but that will win, so finally MrX keeps going with the Starlight Tumbler. TinySpy is thinking he's never going to do it another time, but he does. Very nice play from MrX.
Round 1.
The Weapon X, MrX, going in now. Not going in, playing at range. Playing the OnimarU game until you have your time to strike. That was a bit of a different option there. Resets into the Sea Glider move. So I have to say, by the way, Setsuki is still by far my least played character. I've already managed to play more Quints than I've ever played Setsuki, which is kind of ridiculous. No, if that's the levels are a bit misleading now, because the problem with having Fantasy Plus is, of course, you go up the levels too fast. No, that's a good trade. But Setsuki wins it, of course, 2 for 1. But if you're on 1 life, Setsuki's going to take that all day and twice on Sundays. Where's your honor? I think that's what people say, saying anyway. Spit it to fire. Very nice. Oh, good trade for OnimarU there. And it did set up a good situation as well. Very nicely done from TinySpy with that air-to-air clip. Yeah, people are generally saying that OnimarU, Quints, and Rook are probably the bottom 3 in the game overall, in overall power terms. But that doesn't mean they aren't viable characters, and it doesn't mean they don't have good matchups, and it doesn't mean you can't play very, very, very well with them. It's like even the a perfect there for MrX though, absolutely sealing the deal on that one. Yeah, I mean, even I get battered by the best Rooks. And so forth, and like the best OnimarUs and things like that. So I don't know if I'm great. Oh, but those Clockwork Soldiers. What an escape though from MrX. What a smart play, using that ground B to escape. But another smart play for TinySpy on defense. Can he? Oh no, he couldn't keep the pressure on there. TinySpy was in a situation where they were applying the pressure, and MrX had to do the escaping. Was successful. The kunai dodge. This comes down to it. Yeah, MrX does get that last hit though. Really nice adjustment there in that set from MrX. Showing their experience. TinySpy, almost certainly quite a new player. Do you ever watch? Oh, well, really? Tadazi. I haven't seen Tadazi play this game in a very long time. Let's go, MrX. Feeling pumped up for the Monday night strike. He's ready for some fans.